What's up guys, this is Automotive Anonymous, and what I do are car reviews, 0 to 60s and other cool stuff. So if you like my content, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Otherwise, we're gonna get right into it. This is the all-new Kia EV6 Wind all-wheel drive, generously borrowed by Twin Falls Subaru in Southern Idaho, so I'll link it below if you're interested. They're good people to work with. Otherwise, check it out, steel gray. It looks fantastic, those wide front fenders. Let's continue on with our walk around, go through the specs, the ins and the outs with initial driving impressions, 0 to 60 with the GPS, and final thoughts to see if it's worth your time and money. The base Wind starts at 48 grand, and that's rear-wheel drive. This one is 53 grand a base, but it has a few other goodies on it. All-wheel drive, that means 320 horse, and they're really not that big on the exterior for how good they are on the interior. It's about 15.5 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 5 feet tall. Has 6.1 inches of ground clearance with about a 10.6 final drive ratio, so it really puts that torque down, as you're gonna see in the 0 to 60. It's a 1-speed automatic. They're rated at 116 MPG equivalents, a 94. The door is right there. I'll show you that in just a little bit though. If you're gonna charge this at your house on the standard 110, 120 volt outlet, it's gonna take about 68 hours from a dead battery. If you have a level 2, like what your dryer takes, that's a 220 or 240 volt. Those take about 8.5 hours, or if you have a direct supercharger type connection, that would take about an hour and a quarter. So keep that in mind. The claim to fame on the EV6 and the Hyundai Ioniq is that it goes from 10 to 80% in as little as 18 minutes if it's hooked up to the right supercharger. Otherwise, they look really good. All the black accents, the sleek look, the low roof line that's flat, they just look really cool. It's a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery that's located underneath the car that adds to its stability on the road. For being 43 to 4,800 pounds, it really handles quite lightly on its feet while feeling planted, and having about an 18-foot turning radius isn't bad either. It is a 235/55/19. Good looking wheel, good looking tire, and then you have a tire mobility kit in it. But otherwise, let's hop into the car. Let's see what it looks like. You push the front, you pull the back, and you can see you have a key right there in case the power goes bad. To the door panel, it looks really nice. You got 2-stage memory seats. The sound system actually sounds fantastic in this vehicle. And then you got a slanted bottle holder and a place for, I don't know, maybe some Mike and Ikes. The armrest, the cushion portion is small, but it is very comfortable. And you have a fairly deep handle that doesn't have much more than kind of a rounded out lip. There are your other settings right there. Nothing on the door sill plate. 10-way seat adjustments. It is heated and cooled. They look really good. And then down here you got rubberized pedals. You have your EV6 in the floor mat. Have your fuses up there. Depending on the model, you have a couple other settings right there. Ventilation, telescoping, wheel. Get it where you want it to be. Let's get out of the window and start up the EV6. Right now it's actually turned on, but that's how you do it. Foot on the brake, turn on the EV button. It lights up, has a nice little display. The steering wheel is really nice, heated, leather wrapped. Regen braking paddles on the back. It's almost like downshift, more aggressive, upshift, less aggressive. Drive modes to go through sport, eco, and normal. You can see the battery percentage on the bottom left of the screen. You have your headlight settings here, things like that. Windshield washer, stock on the other side. You have physical buttons, or kind of like touchscreen buttons, but they're not integrated into the screen, which is a really nice feature. And then a big touchscreen with all the options up there. The cameras on this look really cool, as I will show you right here. And then continuing on to the center console, because you don't have a transmission tunnel, you got a USB-C down there, 12 volt and another plug in there. Nice big storage, so you could hide a purse, a merce, a whole bag of Lay's chips, whatever you want. And then we have the parking camera button. You could just push that and it pops up again. Parking sensors, auto vehicle hold. Park, you just push down, otherwise you have to turn it once to neutral, a second time to reverse, or just hold it all the way over for drive. Heated seats, ventilation, heated wheel, all those options there. Wireless charging port. You have 2 cup holders and some extra storage. And then pretty deep center console. It's probably about 60% the length of my forearm. Up here you got some LED lightings that do look quite good. And no sunroof on this one. Let's turn it off. We're gonna go to park, we're gonna turn it off, we're gonna hop in the back. While we're back here, there's something I need to show you guys, and it has to do with the remote. What the heck are you doing, backpack? Get out of there. Oh wait, it's the remote. And we can also back up if we want. That way you can actually choose, is this a 1 parking spot space, a 2, or can we potentially, yes we can make it a 3 parking spot vehicle. With that interruption out of the way, let's get to the back seat and finish the interior. Push the front, pull the back, open her up. Door panel looks really nice, Meridian speakers follow. Nice small but comfortable soft touch armrest. Decent size, probably about a 7-finger handle. And then just a bottle holder. You might have to go at an angle though to fit. Nothing on the door sill plate. You do have map pockets. You can be a backseat driver if you want. You can recline the seat and bring that to a variation in how far back you want it to be. Or you can drop it all the way. It's up to you. But let's sit behind ourselves at 5'11". For how low the roofline is, I have probably about 1 inch above my spiky hair, and I'm probably about 1 inch to 2 inches maybe in front of my knees. It feels pretty good back here. You do have 2 armrests, and if the driver of the vehicle is nice with that key hidden in the remote, you have an outlet back here. So you could plug in a whole host of goodies. Let's get to the back. Let's see how big that hatch is. There is a button just under here. We're gonna push it. And then in the hatch, we got about 24 cubic feet of room. That's what the seats up. Keep in mind it's slanted, so not all objects may fit despite how large the total volume is. And then you do have these handles so you can drop the seats and add another 25, 26 cubic feet, bringing it up to about 50. So it's actually quite practical. You could potentially car camp back here if you were curled up or if you were short. Otherwise, we have the tire mobility kit down here, and then just a few extra little panels. And if you like maps, if you like paintings, you could hide some of those under here, just slide them down. Otherwise, we're gonna lower the hatch. This time, we're gonna do it with the remote though. Hold it down. Otherwise, we got the charge door right here. You could open that with the button inside. It's kind of cool because you can put the reverse adapter in and pull power out of the battery if you want. Otherwise, we're just going to close that up and continue to the other back seat. Push the front, hold the back. Door panel, by now, you know what they look like. They're really good, really consistent in design. Another backseat driver back here. Backpack staying safe, of course, with the 3-point seat belt. Not bad. Now that you're out of the front seat, don't you ever do that again. Driver's side, same theme follows, and it looks really nice. You get the 10-way power options. Remember, heated and cooled. The leather feels really good. It's perforated. I don't think you're gonna have too sweaty of a back on that. And then you have the button to have that 2-stage glove box. It goes really far in. Not bad. Now you're probably wondering, where's the 320 horse reside? I want to see that. Well, let's pop the bonnet, pop the hood, and see what's hiding underneath. Under the hood, you do have a little storage compartment. You can still see there is a battery because EVs do need their own battery. It's not just the battery pack underneath the car. You have the windshield washer reservoir, and then you just have a little storage. So you could put some cables down there, maybe a few other flat inch or lower in height items. But it's not as good as a Tesla, but it's better than some of the competition that doesn't even offer as little as that is. Let's drop the hood. Time to hop in the vehicle, take it for our initial driving impressions, and then show you what it does 0 to 60. Initial driving impressions of the EV6 are that it feels really futuristic with the giant center display and infotainment screen. All the gloss black and just different materials used in here. It's really cool. Visibility is decent. It's not as good as it could be, especially the C-pillar back there. It's pretty wide. But overall, it's not bad. You easily get used to it. The mirrors, especially the side mirrors, do a great job. And those turn signals. That's a really cool feature too. The wheels heated, as are the seats. They feel really good. You also have ventilated seats, if you remember, right there. And we're in sport mode right now. I'll give you a little glimpse of what a 39 mile per hour roll can do. On our private road, it does really well. Power delivery in electric vehicles is just unreal because it's instantaneous. Even though this might only have 320 peak horse, it feels like 320 horse everywhere. It's not like it has to, you know, build RPM, and at 5,000 or 6,000 it finally hits the max pulling power, but it's just instant right off the line. That's why these do so well, as you'll see in just a minute with our 0 to 60. It's pretty quick, it might surprise you. Otherwise, road noise isn't that bad. It doesn't echo in here like a Tesla without the glass roof. Although, if you're gonna get an electric car, having a glass roof like on that model is really cool. The steering wheel is comfortable. I like that the whole, basically, 4 to 8 o'clock is open, so you can hold it wherever you need to. Drive modes are right here. The paddles, it's like downshifting, making it more aggressive on the regen braking. I honestly keep it as off as I can because I don't like the feel of that with my vestibular system. All the times you let off the gas instead of just cruising, rolling to a stop naturally, it just doesn't feel right to me. Especially with how instantaneous the throttle pedal is on this and the brake pedal. It can be not jerky, but it can be very quick responding if you aren't familiar with one of these. Accelerating though is just unreal in something like this. I think if you're gonna splurge and spend over 50 grand on a vehicle, you really do need to get the all-wheel drive version for just a few thousand more, or the better battery packs, the better motors. I think it's gonna be worth it. Since, you know, you're already differentiating yourself from a gas car anyways, you might as well perform better in certain aspects than one of those. Otherwise, it's comfortable. It's really cool how much room you have, as you guys have seen earlier. It just feels really cool. And I'm surprised that this came from Kia, the Kia Hyundai group. They've really stepped it up the last few years, and this model does seem to be a good competitor to the 3, to the Y, and to some of the other manufacturers' EV. But let's get back to our private road and do a true 0 to 60 test. 0 to 60, we are in sport mode. Traction control is off. We'll of course do our equivalent of a brake rev. It doesn't really change much. But on a 72% charge now, let's see what this puppy can do. That pulls really good. True 0 to 60 came in at 4.79 seconds. You'll see on the GPS graph afterwards, the bottom left is how it's rated by the magazine. Without the foot of rollout, that's how they would rate this run, and I'm sure it's a couple tenths of a second faster. Otherwise, guys, let's get to our final thoughts. Final thoughts of this Kia EV6 Wind all-wheel drive is, would you buy one? Let me know in the comments. I am truly interested. Would you pick this over a Tesla? What are your thoughts? They look really good. They're priced fairly similarly for what you get. As you saw, the 0 to 60 is pretty impressive. In the 4s, not many gas cars can do that in any condition. It's fairly safe. It's fairly sleek looking. These have had pretty high praise from a lot of people because they don't look like everything else. I've only seen a handful of these in the wild, and I'm starting to really dig it. I don't know that I would personally go with the EV route at this point with how much highway driving I do between towns, but for a lot of you guys living in the cities, having shorter commutes, this might be a strong competitor, a strong consideration to what you're looking for and what you want. Anyways, guys, if you like my video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Remember, this one I'll link below in the description. Otherwise, until the next video, take care, guys. Have a wonderful week.